This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake that body.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out, y'all.
Keep it going, OQ. This is a standing ovation on Sway in the Morning right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a standing ovation. Keep it going, OQ. You got to give it up for the gatekeepers, the pioneers in hip-hop.
Absolutely.
You got to give it up for the ones that have never let the culture down. You got to give it up for the ones who've always pushed the culture forward. You got to give it up for the ones who always helped build that foundation. The ones that introduced gems into the world. And we all benefited from it. First time I ever heard Nas was under one of his beats. So you got to give it up for that. One of my favorite rappers of all time, Kool G Rap, was helped to catapult his career under his beats. You got to give it up. Noriega, you gotta give it up. Intelligent Hoodlum, you gotta give it up. Just keep giving it up, OQ. Rakim, you gotta give it up. The one and only Large Professor is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. What's up, Sway? Thank you. Thank you.
Gotta give it up.
Thank you.
Large Professor, man. Tracy, this dude right here, man. Listen. I may say this all the time. Anytime he come up here, I'm going to give him these props because, LP, you got to do this, man. Because if you don't, it's the society we live in is such a quick fix.
Yeah, they be rewriting and things like that. Yeah.
They rewrite the history and hip-hop and rap culture, and it's probably the most inaccurate and scattered. You know, it's unless you were there or unless you really get down and do your research. It never comes out correctly, and we're always upset. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a breakfast table book, whether we're always like, nah, that wasn't how it happened.
Exactly.
You got a new project out. It's called Reliving. Sorry,
yes, sir.
Reliving.
Yeah.
And that's available now. People could get it. Everywhere?
Absolutely, yeah, everywhere, all formats, even cassette. Like that's how we do it back. Like even cassette,
Flashback Friday.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Cassette.
Word,
I like
cassette.
that.
You know, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cassette players coming back?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, well, we traveling the world, so it's it's the novelty things going out. You know, like it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Reliving is the name of the album. Large Professor is here. I just named a lot of the artists you had a chance to work with. What is the meaning behind reliving?
Reliving, oh man, there's so many meanings to that, man. I mean, I found myself in my hometown of Flushing when I was recording this project, and all the walls, the halls, the staircases, the streets, all of that. Like I just, because I've been traveling for years. We've been traveling, man. So all around the world, and got this itinerary and everything, and I just took a minute and went back to my hometown, man, and while I was writing and doing the beats, man, I was just like reliving all of these scenes and stories that I have, man, and it was just like, yo, this is reliving.
You probably, from like when you look at your list, your discography list of people you work with and produce, from Redman to Styles P to, the list goes on and on. And I would imagine you have some great stories.
Yeah. And
in the song on this album, I think it's called In the Sounds, right?
In the Scrolls.
In the Scrolls,
yeah.
In the Scrolls.
Yes, sir.
You say a lyric, I don't have it memorized, about Nas.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, thank you. Somebody just gave me the lyric. All right. Nobody does it better than Nas is the hook. And you telling a story about,
coming up with Nas.
Coming up with Nas. And what was it like prior to him being heard?
Right.
And you said, yo, y'all never heard When It Feel?
That was Wiz. That was my man Wiz's verse. He said, y'all never heard Gwen and Phil, the best rap I ever heard Nas say for real. Like, that was, I guess, a routine that Nas had that he lost on the train before we even got to hear that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So Wiz was, that's why I went to Wiz because when originally the beat, I thought it was for Nas. Like I was like, yo, Nas needs to rock over this because I had the De La Soul hook in there.
Yeah.
He's originally saying nobody does it better than I. So, but it sounds like nobody does it better than Nas because it's like that kind of thing. So it's one of them vocal illusions, like how I did on the remix where I have Biz saying Nas is the king of. So I was like, yo, Nas, you know, for whatever reason, you know, he wasn't able to get to the track. So, you know, I was like, all right, I got to use this. And I put it together and I said, well, I got to get some QB on there. So my boy Wiz was there and he was available. And I told my story and Wiz told his and just took it deeper into depth on that verse right there. Like, I never heard Gwen and Phil. So he was like, you know, shedding some light on in general, so that was a nice thing right there, and I think that song came out real hot, yo.
Yo, that's a great song, man. Most of your songs are telling great stories. Dreams don't die.
Yeah, that right there is like, that's the most personal I've ever been really with myself, and you know, like I'm talking about, you know, rap is braggadocious and yo, I'm the baddest and you know, and all of that. But this time I kind of got into like my upbringing and things like that. And yo, that's and then the last verse of that is a dedication to Big, because during the choruses I'm saying it was all a dream. Like I did that, and you know, like myself and Big was the same age and everything like that. So yeah, it's yo, man. This album, I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased with it. Like spiritually, like
you connected with it, right? You talk about your parents in that song too.
Absolutely.
Tell that story.
Like yo, that was a ritual in our home. Like on Fridays, you know what I'm saying? We slide away the love seat and turn on the radio and throw some records on. You know, me and my sister, we'd be like, yo, we gonna play this record next and we gonna play that record next. You know, moms would be sitting there, you know, pops would be, you know, and so it's like that. I think that's a ritual in a lot of black homes, you know what I'm saying, where people playing their music and start cutting the rug and dancing and things like that. So I don't know if that's still the same today, so I just kind of wanted to tell people like, yo, this is how it was, you know what I'm saying? We used to dance as families and listen to music together as families and things like that. So I wanted to put that out there.
Would you say out of all the MCs that you had a chance to work with, which one you think impacted your career the most and why?
Wow. I mean, Slick Rick is the reason why I even picked up a pen to begin with. Once I heard the show with him and Doug, like I wrote my first rhyme like a few hours after that. That's in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Gave it a try. So, I mean, Busta Rhymes, Rakim, you know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, I got to see their techniques in the studio and everything. Nas, you know, I mean, Biz, like all of them, man, like all of them. So I'm just thankful and blessed, like, word.
What was Rakim's technique?
Wow, that dude, man. Rakim is like a lyrical like monk, like, you know what I'm saying? You sit there and like he's there and he's still, you know, he has all of his studio necessities there, and you know, I'll leave it at that. And you know, got the speakers blasting and everything, and yo, man, it's just like high science with him, man. It was just like, you know, he had the book and he would just sit there and it was like he had like a glass of wine and he was sitting back and kind of just listening to the big speakers, and it was just, and this is how I started.
Yeah.
This is how I started, like when I first started making beats. So it was just like, you know, God does that, like, yo, put you right there, like, yo, handle it and, you know, do your thing, man. You wanted this, get it, you know.
Nas called you one of the top 5 producers, hip-hop producers of all time.
Sheesh.
Who would be your top 5?
My top 5, oh man, 45 King.
Ooh, Mark the 45 King.
Yes, Easy Mo B, Marley Marl, Rick Rubin. Oh man, if DJ Premier.
Premier.
Family.
It is, man. Man, Large Professor is here, man.
And Pete Rock.
Pete Rock, got to throw Pete in there.
That's an extra.
Any of the new guys that you've been really into?
Yo, Flying Lotus is insane.
Yeah.
Like that, man. Like, and there's another dude on the West, DiBiase, that's crazy with it. Like, I'm, you know, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm glad that I'm still a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a fan of the culture. Like, there's some dudes out there with some heat.
Yeah, right. Large Professor is here. He got heat on this album. Reliving is available now. We're gonna play some songs off the album, but first, man, I just like to pay tribute sometimes. So DJ Wonder and I was brainstorming, and I said, Wonder, man, put together a medley.
Nice.
Some of these hits that LP been behind. You want to talk with them? 888-742-3345. In the morning, Large Professor is here. Can y'all get those phone lines? Let me get those phone lines for me.
Wow.
God damn.
Wow.
Them phone lines open for me. I can't see who's on the phone line.
Oh, man. Wow.
All these calls for him?
Wow.
Yeah, okay,
Of
cool, man.
course.
Well, turn. I can't see the call. Well, I'm just going to go through the line.
Let's play surprise.
Who's on line one, Veronica? Q, what up, Q? Wait, hold on, Q. Hold on, man.
As in the barrel?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
The stick in the circle? Yeah.
Hold up,
No
man.
doubt.
Hold up. I got
The
it.
stick in the sun.
Q, what up, man?
What's up, Sway? How you doing, bro? Good morning, Sway.
Yeah, man. Good morning. How you doing? Say hello to Large
I'm
Professor,
good.
man.
Yo,
Peace.
peace, Large Professor.
Peace.
Peace. And I wanted to call in, man, and see, I always heard that you were a good DJ as well.
Yeah. That's how a lot of producers that are good, like sample-based producers, that's how they should have started, like, touching them turntables, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a DJ, too, and, I dabbled in the beats and, spit as well. And the question I have for you is, when you're making beats, how do you tap into that inner shit to start rhyming over it? Because for me, it was like everything I did was in the beats, and I scratch over them, I ain't want to do nothing else.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's all in the feel of the, in the vibe of the music, man. It tells you what to do, man. Like, you could ask all the rappers out there, man. The beat will tell you what to do, man. And that's just where I'm at with it, too, man. Definitely.
All right, hey, man, thanks for your call. We go to Tim in Wisconsin. Tim, what up? You there?
Timmy.
Yeah. What's going on, Sway and Tracy G?
What's
What
up,
up?
man? Have to be sick today, but Large Professor is here. Say what up to him, man.
Yeah, Extra P, man. I just wanted to say that alongside Jay Dilla, you're probably one of the greatest triple threats of all time, man. Just unbelievable music you've been putting out for decades. It's crazy. And I wanted to ask you, you worked with a lot of guys like Nas and stuff like that, Cormega and back in the day, and you've also worked with new guys like Torey and stuff like that. Who is your favorite artist to work with and why?
Oh, man, like I said, man, Slick Rick, man, I think it would have to be Slick Rick, man, because that dude is just phenomenal. I'll leave it at that, man. Slick Rick is phenomenal, but I got equal love for all of them, man, but Slick Rick is just insanely, talented and multifaceted on that mic, man, for real.
All right, thanks for your call, man. Large Professor is here. The new album is Reliving, in stores now. We're going to do this Friday Cypher in a minute, but I got some more questions. I know Tracy has some, too.
Yeah, absolutely, because off air, me and El, we were just having such good conversation. I felt like I should just bring it to the service for the citizens. So I'm trying to think of what piece I want to share, but I think it's important all the time for people who are jumping into the industry and they're thinking, okay, I want this speedy, linear route to success. And you can kind of get it in the digital age.
Right.
But no matter what, a hurdle is going to come of different sizes,
Right.
And for you, which one was the hardest for you to get over that had the most lessons for you?
Oh, well, coming up in hip-hop in the streets and things like that, one of the biggest hurdles was, going in these offices and acting like, I was with this office stuff. I'm like, yo, I come from these streets where the music speaks and all of that. And so, when you going out there with the business and stuff like that, and you have to be a little bit more refined when you're going in the offices and all that. You gotta leave that street stuff at home and leave that out in the streets. So yeah, that was one, but it was nothing. I let the music speak. So them offices, it's gonna pop. We gonna ring off in the offices.
Exactly,
Definitely.
that's the universal language.
Yeah.
I said Large Professor did something in 1991. Right. First of all, first song we ever played on the Wake Up Show was Live at the Barbecue. I always say that. You helped launch our radio careers. Me and King Tech.
Of course.
DJ Revolution. And we still been going strong. First song we played that you produced it and, had Nas, Akinelli, everybody was on it to set the tone of, it helped paint the picture of the cloth I'm cut from.
Right.
So we cut from similar cloths. You had a song on the Breaking Adams LP called Just a Friendly Game of Baseball.
Yeah, man.
And if you listen to the lyrics of that song back then, it can apply to what we're seeing happen today.
Yeah.
In Ferguson, you know, all over the country,
man.
Baltimore,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And that song was about
Police brutality, man. Yeah, man. And it's kind of crazy because I come from like the 5% nation. Like I used to build with the Guards and the Earths and things like that. And that's one thing that we do is we build. So it's like in hip hop, you had NWA and they came out with fuck the police and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in the nature of building, it was like, yo, here's my angle on that. You know what I'm saying? And I just took it to a more poetic angle where it's like, yo, here's a metaphor. Like, wow, we can kind of compare police brutality with a game of baseball now. And like that song just like, it was crazy. It was a summer day and it was hot outside, beaming hot outside. I stayed in the rest all day and wrote that song. Like I could have been out chilling and doing what I do. Like for some reason, it was like I was possessed and just wrote that whole song that day and then went in the studio the next day and knocked it out. Like for real.
First lyric was a gunshot.
Yeah. Oh,
but
shit.
And it sounded like a ball hitting off a bat, right?
Yeah.
Another brother hit.
Yeah. I better go over my man's crib and get the pump. Because to the cops, shooting brothers is like playing baseball, and they're never in a slump. Like, I guess when they shoot up a crew, it's a grand slam, or when it's one, it's a home run. But I'm gonna be ready with the wild pitch. Yo, it's just like that was just like
that's real.
That was just like, and I was ready. Like I was ready. Like I was right there with NWA. Like if it was like, yo, we got to do this. Like I'm like, yo, letting them know. Like yo, we on the East Coast and like, yo, we ready too. Like that was my thing right there. And that song wound up in the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, man. Like me and my pops used to sit there and watch the movie, man. She'd be like, yo, that's your song right there. Like Ice Cube pull out the joint and you know, the song start playing, man. My pops would be like, yo, man, that's your song, man. You made it, man. That kind of thing. So, you know, all of that is with the reliving, like all of that just came back to me, man. It was like, yo, like all of this, man, like it's just I feel good to have been able to contribute to the industry, to hip hop like that, man, for real.
I gotta play this song, man. And this is 1991. We're in 2015. And see how accurate it is to the.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like now where I am as an artist, like I feel kind of crazy with that song because I feel like I kind of spoke a little bit into existence. Like I should have said something like, "Oh no, the cops are not." You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like that. So, but it definitely applies, and that was made just to get people to say, like, "Oh wow," like that's you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, it's crazy when we look at it like that. And it was more of a song to kind of get people to sit up straight and to really peep. Like when they get around the police authorities and they see these types of things, like, yo, get right. Like, yo, don't give them nothing to mess with you about. Like, yo, get up out of there. Like, yo, forget that. Don't give them nothing for you to mess with you about. So that's really what that song was, you know, for.
We're going to play that song and then also... I want to play that Off Your Ass.
Off Your Ass on Your Feet.
Okay, that's on the Reliving album. Large Professor is here.
Yes.
Let's take them back.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. Another young...